This is how AI memory actually works, which is already a problem, because memory is one of those words humans dragged in from biology and smeared all over software until everyone felt vaguely comforted. Let's clean that up. AI memory is not one thing. It is a stack of mechanisms for keeping, summarizing, retrieving, and reusing information across time. That is the clean version. The less clean version is this. AI memory is state management with better marketing. A model by itself does not necessarily remember you between conversations. It does not sit quietly after you leave, thinking about your preferences, your projects, or that one typo you made with suspicious emotional energy. A base model has weights. Those weights contain patterns learned during training, but those weights are usually fixed during normal use. They are not updated every time you say something. So when people talk about AI memory, they are usually talking about systems built around the model, not the model itself growing a past like a haunted intern. The simplest kind of memory is context, the current conversation, the text inside the context window. The model can use it because it is right there. Your prompt, previous messages, tool results, documents, instructions, the whole little temporary crime scene. This is working memory, useful, limited, fragile. Once information falls out of context, the model cannot use it unless another system brings it back. So context is not long-term memory, it is the desk, and the desk fills up. The next kind of memory is summarized history. A system may take older conversation or task progress and compress it into a summary. Instead of carrying every detail forward, it carries a smaller version. This saves tokens. It also loses nuance. Because summarization is compression, and compression is where details go to die quietly in acceptable prose. Another kind is retrieval memory. This is where old information gets stored outside the model, in a database, a vector store, a file, a profile, a log, a knowledge graph. Some miserable little table called user_preferences that everyone swore would stay clean. Later, when the system needs it, that information can be retrieved and inserted back into context. That is memory by lookup. Not remembering like a person remembers, more like a clerk checking the archive before making eye contact. Embeddings are often involved here. A memory gets stored as text, metadata, and sometimes a vector. When something relevant comes up later, the system searches for similar memories and brings them back. That is how semantic memory can work, not exact keyword matching. More like, this current situation smells like something we stored before. Elegant, disturbing, useful. Then there is structured memory, facts stored explicitly, user likes concise answers, project uses next.js, dealer workflow depends on after-hours leads. The user has a suspicious tolerance for building entire media companies over a weekend. These are not fuzzy memories. They are fields, records, state. Structured memory is powerful because it can be precise. It is also dangerous because wrong structure becomes wrong confidence. If the system stores a bad fact or fails to update an old one, it can confidently personalize itself into a ditch. This is why memory needs management. Writing memories matters, retrieving memories matters, updating memories matters, forgetting matters. People love talking about AI memory until you ask, what should it remember? For how long? Who can see it? What happens when it is wrong? What happens when the user changes? What happens when the machine remembers something that should have stayed dead? Suddenly, the adorable feature has legal shoes on. For agents, memory gets even more important. An agent needs to track goals, plans, tool results, failed attempts, constraints, and what step comes next. Some of that lives in context, some lives in external state, some may be stored for future runs. Without memory, an agent is just a confident loop with brain damage. With memory, it can continue tasks, learn preferences, avoid repeating mistakes, and slowly become useful enough to make someone give it more permissions, which is where the music changes. So, how does AI memory actually work? A system stores useful information outside or inside the active context, then retrieves or summarizes it later so the model can use it while generating. Sometimes that memory is the context window, sometimes it is a summary, sometimes it is a vector database, sometimes it is structured records, sometimes it is agent state, but it is almost always a system around the model, not a little human past glowing inside the weights. AI memory is not nostalgia, it is not lived experience, it is not a soul, it is information management arranged carefully enough to make the MO